Hello, everybody. It is Friday, December 8th, 2023, and welcome to another episode of Flossmas. I am so glad to be with you again today. So, first of all, I want to say thank you to everybody who sent well wishes my way yesterday. I had gotten my booster and was just feeling a little bit under the weather, and it was one of those days where I started out with a long sleeve shirt, and then I put a sweater on, and then I got a blanket, and then I got another blanket, and then I took a nap. And by kind of late afternoon, I was feeling much better, which is about what I expected. But it was a nice luxury to be able to take a quiet day and to get that handled. So we've got Doc joining us again this morning. I did have to dislodge him from this chair a moment ago, so I think he's getting over it. But thank you again to everybody who sent well wishes my way yesterday. So a couple of things to show you today. The first is, of course, our fully finished object that we have up on decorations for this year. And that one, the one that I want to show you today is Joy by Bent Creek. And this is a little kit that I bought a number of years ago, and I really enjoyed it. It's just a very easy, quick stitch, as you can see, but I love how the letters turn into joy at the end of the project. And they have a number of pieces like this where they have an alphabet on some kind of theme. There are Thanksgiving themes, there's Christmas themes, and then some of the letters turn into a special message, which is something I really like. So as I mentioned, it came as a full kit, and so it came with the buttons that you use, some felt and ribbon, and was a very easy finish. So something that hangs on my tree and is really one of my favorites, kind of those classic Christmas colors. Excuse me, I've got somebody who's just like, please stop moving your arm. Hello, little man. Hi, sweetness. Yes, I love you too. Oh, there we go. All right. So in terms of pieces that I would like to stitch in the future, I have 3 to show you today, all by the same designer, kind of a relatively new designer. She's been designing for a couple of years, and that is Crow's Feet Stitching, Ruthie Taylor. And so I have 3 that I want to show you today. The first is Merry Christmas, and I've actually seen a number of people stitching this one this year, and it's just really lovely. The next one is The Holly and the Ivy. Oh, no, Deck the Halls. There we go. So this one is about kind of a woman kind of getting ready for Christmas with Deck the Halls. And then the last one is The Holly and the Ivy, which is one of my favorite Christmas songs. And the thing that I really like about Ruthie's designs is I love her lettering. It's very unique. It's something that you don't see in other pieces. And I think it's just entirely of her own design and making. And I really love those pieces. So I've bought all of these, and I can't decide which one to start first because they're all gorgeous, but things that haven't quite made it up to the top of the stitching list yet, but definitely something I would like to stitch in the future. So that is Crow's Feet Stitching. And then I did want to show you just a tiny little bit of haul. I haven't been doing that much in these videos, kind of newer purchases, but one came out just yesterday and I had to immediately go and buy it. And this is a new design by Crocette gogo, and it is a winter Christmas Natale. Oh my goodness, it's morning. It's a Christmas piece, and so I really love this. And one of the things I really like about her designs is you don't have to stitch the entire thing. If you want to, you can stitch it exactly as designed, but much like many other European designers, you could also take elements out and make a series of small pieces, smaller stitches as well. So there are many in here that I would love to stitch. That top one, you could stitch as a long skinny piece, much like the Tiny Town series. Here at the bottom, you know I love this one. It's a market stall, kind of come from a Christmas market, and I would love to stitch that. And then on either side are these houses with cats, and one has these really fun little snowmen, and then this one has bird houses. I can't decide which of those I would stitch, but I would probably stitch each of those as a small piece. And it was one of those things, I saw it and I immediately went to her Etsy shop and hit download and purchase. So it's very much something that I was immediately drawn to. So that is Crocette gogo. Crocette. I know we're not quite sure how to say that, but you know what I mean. So the next thing I will show you is, of course, my progress on my own advent calendar. We are on December 8th. So today we had kind of a little holly piece, and it almost looks to me like a Christmas quilt, or the square of a quilt is what it reminds me of in that holly design. So using those couple of different blues, French knots, every time I do a French knot, I think I really need to learn how to do a colonial knot. I've watched the instructions multiple times. It seems very easy, and then it immediately goes back out of my head and I need to do it. But in the moment, I'm like, no, I know how to do a French knot. I'll just do that. And then I think I really should learn how to do a colonial knot. But anyway, that is our piece for December 8. Next, we have our 2 advent calendars, which we're opening up together. So today we'll start with Tom and Lily Creations, their thread calendar. And there's definitely something else in here. Oh, okay. So the first one we have is this gorgeous deep blue, kind of a winter, dark winter blue. Lovely color. I've talked about this before, but I'm really loving the richness of these colors, pieces that you could use in all kinds of different stitches. And then the extra thing that we received, is another Avera Swab metallic, and it is a very similar color to the blue that we received. So it's got blue and green and purple in it, and something that you can enhance. I have not used these yet. I got a question about that. I've not used these before, so I'm not sure how it compares to Krynic or some of the other metallic threads, but if anybody knows, let me know, but it'll be something to try out. So that is from Tom and Lily Creations today. And then we also have our Historical Sampler Company one, and this is interesting because it's a big package. Oh, this looks like another kit. Okay. Oh, how cute. We've got a little snowman with his scarf. Oh, I love that. That is really cute. Snow lady, I think it is. She's got a pink hat, so I'm going to assume maybe that's intended to be a snow woman. And then we've got some black Aida, which is, for somebody with my eyes, I think I prefer the Aida for darker fabrics. And then we've got some felt and finishing pieces for it as well. So that is great. And then, as I mentioned in my very first video, we received all of the threads that we need for the kits in this box kind of at the beginning. So I've got everything ready to go for that. So that is snowman ornament. Really cute piece. I'm being tempted to be distracted from my other stitching by these new things. So that is our regular content for the day. I did want to add in something a little bit in addition today, and that's to talk about my favorite Christmas movie, because it's a tradition every year that I sit and watch it at least once, if not more, and I don't even wait just for Christmas. Sometimes I watch it in the middle of the year because I feel like it, but it is just a piece that I have been watching for many years now, and it never quite feels like Christmas yet. Like in the same way that getting the tree decorated, getting certain things taken care of, it's like it really becomes Christmas when I finally sit down and watch this movie. And you may have guessed, because you've been seeing a hint of this for days now, my favorite Christmas movie is White Christmas. And it is just, at its heart, at its most basic, this is a movie about the difference that you can make when you are kind to somebody, and the difference that people can make in others' lives. And it is just such a, I feel like that really is kind of a Christmas message. It's a message we need to hear all the time, but it does feel like it's the time of year when that reminder is something particularly special. And, you know, that makes it sound like a very serious movie. It is not a serious movie at all. It is goofy and it is funny, and it's a musical, so there's lots of classic dance scenes and all of that, but it just makes me happy. And so I was feeling a little bit under the weather yesterday, and I knew that I had been kind of holding off on this to make it something special. And so last night I turned off all of the lights. I left only the Christmas tree lit so I could kind of have that little bit of a soft glow, made myself some popcorn, got under my blankets, and just watched the movie. And later I had some hot chocolate. So I kind of made it a special experience, like no phone, nothing happening, just sitting and enjoying this experience. And it was just a really wonderful thing. So, like I said, kind of at its basic, it's most basic, it's about how like being kind to other people and the difference that can make. But if you haven't seen it before, just a little more information about it. It is a movie from, I think, 1954-ish, mid-50s, and it's about two army buddies who go into show business together, and then they become very famous. They're sort of like the Rodgers and Hammerstein of their time, and they meet two sisters. And one of the guys is kind of Bing Crosby, the crooner, and then the other is Danny Kaye, the comic. And he kind of is scheming to get his friend to get married and settle down because he says, it's like, look, ever since we started becoming producers, all you do is work, and I don't have any time for myself, and so I want you to get married. I want you to have 9 children, and if you only spend 5 minutes with them every day, that's 45 minutes, and I can go and get a massage or something. So he has this goal. He's like, I'm going to get you married so I have some time for myself. And then, so they meet these 2 sisters, one of whom is kind of the more serious mother hen, and then one is a very well-intentioned schemer of herself. So you can see how the pairings go on this one. But they meet, and then they wind up going up to an inn in Vermont that it turns out is owned by their former commanding officer, and it's really not doing well. It's failing. And so they come up with a scheme to bring attention to this inn and help kind of improve his business. That's really the plot of the movie. And then there are a lot of, obviously there's musical numbers and all of those kinds of things, but it's a very cleverly written movie. Like, the dialogue is very well written, and it's written in a way that you don't really realize it until some line will pass you by, and then you're going on, and all of a sudden you're like, wait a second, did they just, oh yeah, that was really funny. And so it's clever, it's well written. They have all of these callback lines throughout the movie, not in an irritating or repetitious way, but just in the way that, like, friends call things back to each other and kind of become this shorthand for other messages. I really enjoy that. One of the things that I really like about it too is it's not like a slickly produced movie in the way that we get today. Like, movies today, like, you shoot every scene a million times, so you get the exact right shot, and you cut, and so there's never really a flow in terms of the actual scenes that you see. And in this movie, there were a lot of scenes where just the entire thing is in one shot. They did one go where they did maybe a couple of takes, but they just went and it was done. And so what you get with that is you get mistakes. You get people breaking scene or something, not because they're intentional or not because they're unprofessional, but just because that was kind of the way it was. And you get a little bit more of a realistic look at kind of that experience. So there's an example in one of the dance numbers, very lengthy, very complex dance number, and at the end, one of the actors' feet is in just slightly the wrong spot and kind of trips up the other one, and she just picks up and moves on, and if you don't know to look for it, you don't even know that it's there. Or there's a scene where the 2 guys are kind of creating a distraction for the women to escape. And Bing Crosby can barely keep it together throughout the entire scene. Like, he's already laughing at the start of the scene, and then Danny Kaye clearly is trying to just make him break character even more. And so it's a funny scene, and you feel like it's in character, but you can also tell that it's just the 2 of them having fun filming. And I really enjoy seeing that. It's just a different kind of, a little bit more of a real experience, and seeing that professionalism, and just you pick up and you carry on and you keep doing things. So I really like that. It has some really wonderful songs. Of course, White Christmas. I mean, it was written to showcase White Christmas as a song. It had already become famous, and the whole movie was written to feature this song. But my favorite song is actually one called Count Your Blessings Instead of Sheep. And I think Bing Crosby, he's that classic crooner, deep voice. I could listen to him sing all day. And he just has this song about, when you're worried or you can't sleep, count your blessings instead of sheep. And I really like that. And so I enjoy that. It's got, humor and romance, and it's got all kinds of things. And it's just a really, it just makes me happy. It's one of those things that I can watch over and over again, and I enjoy it. So if you haven't watched it yet, I know that it's, everybody has their own favorite movie for Christmas time, and so you don't have to agree with me, but I hope that you'll at least give it a chance and watch it and enjoy as well. But for me, it's definitely very much part of the Christmas season is to watch White Christmas. So with that, I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I will see you all again tomorrow. Bye, everybody.